of tonight's game broadcast. Tonight's Lindale Eagle game broadcast is brought to you by Alford's Tire, Rose City Air, Root Construction, Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House, Marucci Elite East Texas, Doc Deason Real Edge Real Estate, Beeler Roofing, The Office Barn, and Eagle Chiropractic. The second half will kick off after the short timeout.
Well, we're going to try our best to stay connected as much as possible tonight, and we're back and forth, we're in and out, so we have no idea 1 minute to the next if anybody's out there, and God almighty, I apologize for all that. It's uncomfortable to be out of town with a by-district game. Kenny Smith, Alan Phillips, Stuart Campion, we just kind of keep strolling along for the sake of the tape and make sure, if kids to put in their scrapbook over the years.
So do you record this also?
Absolutely. Yes, we're recording right now, so try not to say anything bad.
I never say anything
I'd
bad.
appreciate that. Well, back at the half, it is 31-7 Lindale right now. Vidor picking up a touchdown only at the 0 mark of the first quarter. Lindale offense has clicked on almost all cylinders tonight. They've got touchdowns from 4 different players, in Wyatt Parker from a 6-yard run, Marcus Field an 86-yard touchdown catch, Clint Thurman took it in from 15 yards out, Alex Romero with a 15-yard touchdown catch, and Seth Baggett with a 26-yard field goal rounds out the scoring. Third quarter underway. Seth Baggett will kick it left to right. It will go deep this time, and again away from the kick returner with the win. And it'll go through the end zone away from Dagan Venable and out of the back of the end zone. So it'll be Vidor football, 1st and 10 from the 25. Halftime, obviously a lot of things are going right for them offensively. Alan, defensively, does Roselle have any?
A whole lot. I think they've got to be pleased with themselves. They've only scored 7 points. They've caused some turnovers. They've Vidor was down on the 2-yard line. They caused a fumble and covered it. So I think they've done a good job.
Well, looking at it right now, Vidor will start off 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line and wrestling down the runner for a gain of a couple. And getting some help up, Christian.
I'm telling you, Christian King is having a good game today.
He is. Yes, he is. Isaac Fontenot with the carry, and they're actually going to give him 4 yards on the carry up to the 29-yard line. Yeah, we talked about Christian King. We're looking for a pretty good game from Christian, and because they're working their way right there on after that left tackle. Faking the handoff and throwing it way short. And boy, I tell you what, I know that he's trying to throw it. Jarrett Odom really does look like a quarterback that throws it about 2 times a game his entire career.
Well, I was watching him warm up. He's got a pretty good arm. He's got good tight spiral on the ball when he throws it. But when you don't throw it a lot, it's just hard to be able to, and he's throwing on the run. That's a sprint out pass. He's throwing on the run. That's even more difficult.
Yeah, he just doesn't look like he's got a lot of those quarterback skin as he's trying to set up to throw the football. So on the incompletion, 3rd and 6 from the 29-yard line. Turnaround handoff, inside handoff, crossing the 30, trying to bounce it outside, and gets the first down across the 35, and a big, nice run. And Isaac Fontenot took the handoff from basically almost on the end around, came around behind the quarterback Odom and took the handoff to the near sideline, picks up good yardage up to the 39-yard line. 1st and 10 Vidor.
Yeah, that's what they call the jet sweep. That's a new terminology these days. It's jet sweep because that guy's at full speed. Ryan Stanton did a good job making that tackle on the sideline and getting him out.
Odom's 1 for 5 for 6 yards his last 5 passes, so he has not looked good when he drops back or tries to roll out. 3-yard gain on the handoff. And we always have to look see who's coming up last. It looks like it's going to be Watson. No, it'll be Fontenot with the carry. Odom came up, it looks like, on the buy-in up on the bottom of the pile, trying to be a lead blocker there. 2nd and 8 on the carry, or after the carry.
Christian King and Carson Plunkett just clogging up the front up there.
41-yard line. Handoff going to go inside and going wide this time and getting a good run. It's a little bit of a corner at the 49-yard line. That time it'll be Fontenot. Jalen Hines gets in on the tackle right at the 1st down mark. I think they're going to move the chains, and they will. It just takes them a while to get them going.
Jalen Hines has probably been their best, knocking the ball down top of a secondary guy that they try to throw on him. He ain't got much. He hasn't had much of a job to do tonight so far. He's still getting tired out there.
Deep pitch, Fontenot back at midfield. He'll pick a minimal yardage. He'll give him 3, maybe a yard up to midfield. It'll be Dagan Venable, with the carry. He'll pick up 1 right up to midfield.
Corey Watts is there to help out with the tackle, grabbing him by the ankle.
And it's got to be some discipline, too, for the corners, Alan, because,
yes.
Line of scrimmage, as is the safeties.
Don't go to sleep.
Man in motion, handoff. No, it's a reverse coming near side. Midfield, breaking a tackle at the 45. Just actually, this man back inside, but Shannon tried to get an arm.
43.
It's going to be carried this time by 43. It'll be Braden Root with the carry.
Play is good for a first down.
I'm telling you what, it's fun to watch this offense, but there's so much misdirection going on.
You really have to pay attention,
yes.
man.
And I'm trying to watch the front of the defense, and I'm trying to see it all at once. But
Yep, off tackle, breaking the tackle at the 35, across the 30. And once again, this is the one series where we're seeing Vidor do what they've been doing all season long. It'll be Watson with the carry. Watson picks up big yardage up to the 30-yard line. So he picks up an extra 11 on that carry. 1st and 10, Vidor again. They continue to, excuse me for saying the word, matriculate down the field quickly. Late substitution for the Lindale Eagle defense. Carson Plunkett runs off the field, and now Vidor's going to re-huddle.
you know, Vidor has been getting into they're getting their tight slot on the left side and getting their back over there also. So overloading a little bit to the left side.
And handoff again to Watson. You know, I think they went back in the huddle and called Watson's number to run right off tackle where Carson Plunkett just left.
Yes, and that's a good possibility.
Number 54, Christian Petway.
Well, Petway sounds like is in on the tackle. So substitutions for Vidor as they
Second down and 7.
move inside and outside, in and out. Wyatt Flores checking out of the ball game. Odom sets a man in motion and hands off. Second man through, cutting upfield, got a big hole, crossing the 25 up to the 21-yard line. And that time it'll be Venable with the carry. And Venable gets just enough, well, let's say short of the first down by about a half a yard. Third and a short one.
I think Aiden Warnell came up from the safety spot to make the tackle. You were talking about those corners and those safeties. They have to stay at home. They cannot, commit to the run because, they've got to make sure it's a run before they get up there.
Well, they really like Aiden Warnell and what he's added to this defense. Going wide, crossing the 20, breaking a tackle at the 15 to the 10 to the 5. And a tackle attempt at the 20-yard line went awry.
Number 21, Isaac
And it'll be Fontenot with a big carry, gets it inside the 5, and a first and goal Vidor at the 1-yard line, actually inside the 1.
Warnell came up to make that tackle, but that's a big old running back right there, and that collision was won by the fullback.
Just an easy quarterback sneak and a half-yard rush for the touchdown. Vidor is in for the TD quickly as they score with 7:26 to go third quarter. So it takes them only 4 minutes and 34 seconds to score here in this third period, and they get on the board for the second time tonight. Looks like they may go for it here. And a 2-yard conversion or a 2-point conversion.
Kenny, back in the day that you had a chart that showed you what you should go for, a 1 or a 2 based on whether you were ahead or behind. With today's offenses, I don't know what they do anymore.
Yeah, well, they set up for the 2-point conversion. Handoff to pitch to Venable. Almost looked like an option, a little wishbone option that time as they faked it to Watson. And Odom pitched it to the wide side. 2-point conversion is up and good. It's a 31-15 lead for Lindale. Eagles about to get the football back for the first time in the third period when we come back. Lindale Eagle football continues with OnTheCall.net.
You know that old saying that a man's number one job is to protect his family? Well, that's exactly what my dad had in mind when he founded Beeler Roofing in the late 1970s. Well, now it's 2022, and it's still the backbone of why Beeler Roofing continues to take care of families and businesses' new roofs, full roof replacements, and even simple roof repairs. We still welcome a good old personal phone call to set up a free roof assessment, and we take a lot of pride and enjoyment from making our customers feel better about being home. Plus, we can even help you navigate the insurance process. This is Brooks Beeler, Lindale class 1989, and very proud of Roofing.com, or call us at 903-347-8484. Beeler Roofing, our family protecting your family from the top down for over 4 years.
Well, a possibility we may be varsity ball next year and varsity here in probably a couple of years. Well, they're going to try an onside kick, but it will not go the required 10 yards. And unfortunately for Vidor, as the ball died about 8 yards off the tee. You know, that's exactly how an onside kick just backfires, Alan.
Well, they also ran it very differently from what I saw. It's almost like they put their guys running to the outside, and then the kicker and a guy next to him went for the onside.
Well,
there was nobody, you know.
Yeah, nobody really broke out, and it wasn't a team effort that time. It was just two guys running after the onside kick, and everybody running behind them, but it will die at the 48-yard line of Vidor, so Lindale Eagles will have just that much room. Vidor just now getting enough men on the field to play football. As late substitutions coming on the field, Al Thurman will set up Landon Sullivan to the left side in a tight end spot. He'll hand off to Devin Daniels. Devin Daniels crossing midfield and gets minimal yardage, a couple up to the 46-yard line.
Well, that's the first time we saw Cruz Lozano, who's had a pretty good season. He's got 56 tackles for Vidor. First time I've seen him on a tackle.
Well, second and 8 on the Devin Daniels 2-yard rush. Stacked receivers left and right. Handoff Daniels going off the left side again. Daniels gets stopped at the 40, across the 40 possibly, and we've got a Vidor Pirate down. And he may have to come off the field. He gets up under his own power and then will go right back down. It will give Devin Daniels up to the 39-yard line of Vidor, just about a yard short of the first down.
You know, Tate Artis also for 44 for Vidor. Looked like he got up a little slow himself. He's stretching himself out there.
Well, that's Aiden Villafano that is down hurt at the 43-yard line. He was in on the attempted tackle of Devin Daniels before he broke that one, but Aiden remains down. He got up, was hobbling on that right leg and took a step and decided he's going to need some help. Wind continues to really rip from the left to the right, so the Eagles still have the wind at their backs. Rain stopped right before kickoff time, or actually about a half hour before kickoff, but it remains cold down on this field.
Well, I'm telling you what, I know everybody out on that field, we're not out on it, but that rain was cold when I was out there earlier, Kenny.
Well, you know what?
Don't sound old.
You're kind of a weenie, Alan.
No.
You know, the cold thing, you know, Stewart loves the cold weather.
Oh,
he doesn't mind. He's never cold.
He'd be in shorts out there if but hey, it was cold rain.
You got cold, you know, walking to the car.
I will be getting cold in a few minutes walking to the car.
Well, it's a long walk to our car from where we're at. Not as long as we've had all year, but the wind was really whipping up at the press box when we got here. Lindo comes out of the injury timeout and working his way off the field under his own power. Aiden Villafano is off the field. Deep snap back at Clint Thurman with the keeper. He ducks his head, powers his way across the 35 to the 33-yard line. And
gets into formation in their balance, and then they shift over. But what it basically is what the pros call the wildcat, wildcat formation. They just snap it straight to the quarterback, and he runs with the ball.
Well, Thurman sets him up 1st and 10, their first down here. And I guess it really is the Achilles heel of this offense for Vidor, Alan, is they may use up a large amount of the clock, but if Lindale's offense comes back and scores quickly, it's all for naught. Inside handoff, crossing the 30, crossing the 20, 15. I thought it was Carson Plunkett at first, but it is going to be a new addition, Chad Ward. Chad picks up a huge pickup, huge gain, the young kid who got to dress out tonight for his first varsity game. And Coach Cochran said in pregame that he was pretty sure some of these guys would be playing a pretty good amount of time. So Chad Ward with the big gain, number 88. We're in the double eights. 1st and 10, Lindale at the 17-yard line. Outside handoff, Devin Daniels gets pounded back beyond the 20. And that time, Will Hutchins he got double teamed, and they powered Will back into the backfield for a 4-yard loss back at the 20-yard line.
Well, you know, we've been calling Jared Odom's name quite a bit tonight. He was the one that made the tackle. You know, he's good on offense, playing that quarterback. So, you know, he's number 24. You don't see a lot of quarterbacks with 24.
Yeah.
But he's also an outside linebacker.
Well, last quarterback you knew with numbers in the 20s. I'll let you worry about that this next play. 2nd and 14. Snap back, Thurman wants to throw it down for the football and making the catch. They're going to say, yeah, he made the catch at the 9-yard line. 9-yard line. He slid. He had to go down to the ground to take it off his shoe tops. Slid down and cradled it before the ball hit the ground.
Yeah, that was a great job coming back for that pass because I could have swore it hit the ground.
Well, Romero gets the catch. It'll be a 7-yard completion.
Ball at the 9-yard line.
Make that a 6-yard completion down. That's going to be more than that, Stuart, because it was a 4-yard loss. So we're going to make it an 11-yard completion. My apologies. At the 10-yard line, 3rd and 3. Stack backfield. Thurman with the quarterback keeper coming near side, following blockers at the 5. Busts through a tackle, powers his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Clint Thurman from 10 yards out.
Score.
You know, again, that's what they do. They have a full house. They got, tight, set, 3 running backs. They just snap the ball to Clint Thurman. He just, that big line, I could run behind that.
Yeah. Well, a 10-yard run pales in comparison, of course. A 15-yard run by Thurman, his 2nd touchdown of the night. Sets the football down at the 10. Set back. 38-15, Lindale Eagles extending their lead back to 23 points. By-district football game in Bryan tonight. Eagles up 38-15 when we come back.
Performing HVAC system. Rose City Air was created by Will Decker and Heath Willingham after they experienced with 2 objectives in mind: service and educate consumer the AC unit correctly the first time, and eliminate the anxiety of second and third opinions and repairs. Rose City Air takes the time to show you the complexities of maintaining a top-notch HVAC system while the estimate and assessment is being done. Rose City Air's free estimates, 24-hour no-hassle emergency services, low-cost maintenance agreements, and discounts for veterans, first responders, and educators are why Rose City Air wants to service your home or business whenever the need arises. 903-630-4343 or go to rosecityairtx.com.
Well, Clint Thurman's 2nd touchdown puts the Eagles back up 38-15, 23-point lead. Alan, just like you just mentioned, scoring early and scoring quick, you get a big lead, especially in a playoff game. It is absolutely marquee.
Thank you.
To set the football down at the 40 and have to hold it on the tee. This time it's going to be Jalen Hines who will hold it for Seth Baggett, and Baggett again will kick it through the end zone.
He got to hold that.
Goes through the end zone.
Yeah, he don't need nobody holding that football.
What's happening is the wind is blowing it off that tee.
Well, didn't we used to, lean the football back if we wanted to go higher?
Yeah, but
Why can't they just do it when the wind's blowing?
Because
Just lean it back a little more.
Because we used to kick it straight on back in those days. These days,
Okay, flat foot Mark Mosley. I think it's been a while since we did that. Do you remember the answer to my question?
What's that? About leaning it back?
No, the NFL quarterback that wore a jersey number over 20. Handoff right
George
tackle. And getting close to the 30, up to the 24, make it 29-yard line, excuse me. As the runner is Watson, I believe. Yeah, they'll give him 5. George Blanda was 16.
But I don't know. Who was it?
John Hadel. 21. Played quarterback for
Rams.
Chargers.
That's close.
And the Rams, you're right. And he was 21 with the Rams, too. 2nd and 5. They give Watson up to the 30. Trying to go wide this time. Cuts it back upfield. Lindale defense will stop him short of the first down. He got forward progress and good surge up to the 29. He's a yard short, though. And that time, Isaac Fontenot gets the carry. He'll get 4 hard yards. Carson Plunkett in on that tackle, along with Cade Hoddy.
Yeah, Cade Hoddy was in on that tackle.
3rd and 1 from the 29-yard line. Lindale leading 38-15. Hustling to the line of scrimmage, taking the snap down as, boy, they can pick up a yard when they need to. And Watson picks up 4 up to the 38-yard line. 1st and 10 fighter, right to left.
At the 38-yard
Ryan
line.
Stanton up there playing that linebacker spot, getting a read, making the tackle. But, like you said, they can get a yard if they need it because they come off that ball very quickly.
Well, it's just that thing, boy. They hold the ball a long time. Watson, spin move off the 40, still on his feet, breaks the tackle at the 45 and leans forward to the 48-yard line. Well, boy, you got to wrap them up when you get them stopped at the line of scrimmage. And Lindale fell victim that time. Let him get away at the 45, picks up a good yardage up to the 48-yard line. Another first down for Vidor. That's their 7th here in the 3rd period.
I got caught up in the backfield myself on that one, and I thought that they were tackling on the line of scrimmage.
So Watson gives him a 1st and 10, puts the man in motion, going to hand off, going far side. Venable, midfield, 45. Gets caught from behind. Ryan Stanton pulls him down at the 40, maybe the 39, to mark him down at the 40-yard line. It'll be Dagan Venable with the carry.
At the 39-yard
Every
line.
time they show that replay, Stuart, they take all the numbers off the
13-yard run
scoreboard.
on the play.
They can't keep up with it. Well, they'll move the ball now to 39. Up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Odom puts a man in motion, turns around inside, handoff to Venable again. Venable picks
Venable
up
again
3
on the
yards
carry
up
for
to the
the Pirates.
35. Powers his way up, give him 4 up to the 35-yard line.
You know, he's not very tall, but I think he might be the quickest of the running backs because, you know, on those outside runs, he gets out there and makes some pretty good runs. That little trap play right then.
Well, also the coaching thing that has to go into this, where these guys have to, you can't hesitate.
No.
At this offense, you have to explode into that hole and just keep going, just lean forward. Hand out first man through, burst through at the 30-yard line, and this time it's a brand new runner in Riley Marlowe. Riley Marlowe, number 26, gets the inside handoff and picks up big yardage up to the 26-yard line. First and 10 Vidor as they continue to move, but they eat up that clock. Minute 20 to go, third period.
That much looked like an option like you talked about earlier, Kenny, where he just hits the hole and he gives it to him.
First and 10, ball comes out. No, it's going to be handed. Odom's going to keep it. Well, believe it or not, he faked it to Fontenot, and Fontenot turned around and didn't know where the football was, didn't know where Odom was.
Yeah, I thought it was a design play, but looking at what he did, I don't think so. Jake Kerbo made the tackle.
Well, Odom lost his shoe as he was jogging to the sideline also. That's a stop for a minute, put it back on. Ball sit at the far hash mark. Not a lot to talk about with the Vidor offense. They just break out of the huddle. They run right up to the center and take the snap and hand off straight up the middle. Again, first down for Watson. As Jason Watson continues to churn out the yardage. This guy is averaging over 100 yards a game, 7.5 yards a carry.
Well, that's just a quick dive. Again, it looks like an option, but he's just got a little sliver to run through there, and he's in the secondary.
Defensive front four gets set quickly. Watson with the handoff, trying the right side this time. Lindale defense will stop him for maybe 2, possibly 3-yard gain up to the 6-yard line.
Looks like Christian King in on that tackle also.
So Watson will work him all the way up to the fourth period. Fourth quarter, 38-15, 12 minutes to go to see if the Lindale Eagles can work their way to the area championship next week. Coming up next, you're listening to Lindale Eagle Football with OnTheCall.net.
You're listening to the Coy Sessions from Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House. All right, Coy, let's take it from the top.
Let's see. Brisket Love Barbecue and...
Again.
Brisket Love Barbecue and...
Again.
Brisket Love Barbecue and... no. We're some of the best barbecue in East Texas, so we want you to come see us. Remember, you stay for the food, you come for the experience.
I think we got it.
Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House. Yeah.
Maybe not.
Merrill Green Stadium is the site of the bi-district playoff this season for the Lindale Eagles. And for those that have been following this football team, and there are an awful lot of you, you'll remember the last visit they had to this stadium. It was a 70-56 win over Needville 2 years ago as the Lindale Eagles worked their way to the state championship in 2020. And we saw an unbelievable performance by Jordan Jenkins, 8 touchdowns on the ground and 1 on a 100-yard kickoff return. Vidor breaking out of the huddle, 2nd and goal. Turn around, hand off, and going wide across the 5, easy touchdown run. Nobody near Dane Villadson. As Villadson takes it in from 6 yards out for the touchdown. Vidor, first play of the fourth period as they draw within 38-21, pending the extra point.
You know, they go to the line so quick and run that play. If you're not down in your stance and ready to go, they can get some angles on you in a hurry.
That is the thing with the defensive front, is they got to, when they break out of the huddle, they've got about a 1.5 seconds to get ready.
Yeah, you know, and standing up like that, see, look how they're getting down right. They're getting down quick.
Set up for the 2-point conversion. Deep pitch again to Villadson, and he runs in the 2-point conversion. Second straight 2-point conversion for Vidor, and they chip back into the lead. As now it goes to a 38-23 lead for the Lindale Eagles, and they're getting the ball back. 11:54 to go in this ball game. We return. Lindale Eagle football continues with OnTheCall.net.
Alford's Tire Brake and Alignment is going all in with the 2022 Lindale Eagles. Safety first is not only common sense when it comes to your transportation, it should be the top priority anytime it comes to the overall protection of your family. Safety checks on your basic brake and tire conditions or need for maintenance on heat of a 2022 summer. Alford's Tire Brake and Alignment puts the entire family name behind making sure you stay stress-free on the road year-round. You'll find tire replacements for all size tires, even lawn mowers. Lift kits and auto accessories are installed right there. And in some cases, while you wait, Alford's Tire Brake and Alignment.
Thompson leading all rushers right now. 16 carries, 129 yards for Vidor. They had an unsuccessful onside kick earlier, and Lindale capitalized on a Clint Thurman 10-yard touchdown run. They will tee it up at the 40-yard line. Two-possession, 15-point differential. 38-25. No one back beyond the 25-yard line. The Lindale Eagles, and a great cover-up by Jake Curbo as he dove for the ball. And Alan, I'm not sure. He may have got yelled at by special teams coach had he not recovered that, because he dove for the football before it got to 10 yards and the ball was headed to the ground.
Yeah, and that's the thing about those. We were looking out there and they had everybody up on the line. That's their hands team. Those are those guys they know are pretty sure about catching the ball. So
up, and they're going to get a penalty call, and I didn't even see the referee call it off. Okay.
yeah.
So the first flag against Vidor tonight comes at the 11:53 mark of the fourth period, and it's a 5-yard mark-off. Lindale Eagle football, handoff, coming near side. Wyatt Parker, no, it's Caleb Eckler up to the 41-yard line, so he'll pick up 2 hard yards.
Yeah, and the first one to hit him was Cruz Lozano, and he sort of spun, but Cruz held on to him.
Only 3 flags in the second period. Now that 1 flag for offsides against Vidor. Always nice to see there's not a lot of laundry on this field. Clint Thurman backs it back up, sets him up third, make it 2nd and 8, puts Landon Sullivan in motion, takes the snap, hands off to Hart, going far side, crossing the 40, up to the 35-yard line. Well, Caleb's showing some, I really like the way this kid, he's young, he comes up, he's getting some varsity playing time, he gets engaged in a tackler and tries to get out of it, spin move, he does what he can to get his legs out of there.
Yeah, Dane Villadson made that tackle out of it, and he just sort of spinned him over.
Well, Caleb picks up another 8 yards, 3rd and 1, handoff, powerhouse move inside and getting forward progress to the 34-yard line, and just enough for the first down.
Ball carrier number 53, Corey Watts.
Corey Watts is a lot bigger than your basic running back, and Corey Watts gets a big hug from Marcus Field in the huddle because Corey gets his first carry of the year.
Well, I saw him lining up in the backfield earlier as a blocking back, so.
Oh, my gosh. For a yard and a first down. All they needed was a yard. He got them exactly what they needed, so he delivered. Splitting wide to the right side is Jackson Davenport. His first snap as a varsity player. Handoff inside and pulled down right at the 31-yard line.